Hello, this is Miss Briscoe here with our weekly oral language challenge for this week. I'm going to be showing you the steps that I followed to edit these sentences. So hopefully that you can learn from this video on how to edit the sentences for your weekly oral challenges, what steps you want to take, and see if you were able to get all of the corrections needed for these sentences. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to read through my sentences to make sure that they sound right. That's the first thing that I do when I edit a sentence. I make sure does it sound right to me. So our first sentence we have for this week is Sarah haven't finished her report and Sam hasn't neither. So what I'm going to do is there are a lot of issues in this sentence that don't sound correct. Sarah haven't finished her report and Sam hasn't neither. Well, the first thing that I come to is haven't. That is not the correct form of have not or has not. So I want to correct that. And so haven't is a contraction for have not. So Sarah have not, but that's the wrong tense of the verb. It should be Sarah has not finished. So what I'm going to do is right above that is I'm going to put hasn't in for that contraction because it should be hasn't instead of haven't. So I'm going to cross that off. So Sarah hasn't finished her report and Sam hasn't neither. Well, neither again isn't the correct form. Neither does not sound right. So instead of neither, what I want to do is I want to add in either, because neither means that person has not done it, but they both have not done it, and so it should be either. So Sarah has not finished her report or hasn't finished her report, and Sam hasn't either. Now my sentence sounds correct. The structure of it's correct. I've corrected any tense problems with any nouns, verbs, connectors. So it sounds right. Now I want to look at my spelling, and I was able to correct some of my spelling as far as the haven't. It was missing an apostrophe. So that is corrected, and there's really no other issues with spelling within my sentence. So after spelling, I always want to correct capitalization. And I know that the beginning of my sentence should always be capitalized, but so should names and proper nouns. And Sarah is a name, so Sarah needs to be capitalized, and so does Sam. Sam is a proper name, so it also needs to be capitalized, and those are only capitalization problems within my sentence. And now I move on to punctuation. Well, I know that the end of my sentence needs to have a punctuation. This is a statement, so I'm going to add a period there. So I'm going to put a little period at the end of my sentence. And my sentence also has two different parts to it. One part is talking about Sarah and one part is talking about Sam. And you pause in between when you read a sentence. You're saying, Sarah hasn't finished her report, pause, and Sam hasn't either. So there should be a comma there. So now what I can do is I'm going to rewrite my sentence with all of the edits that I have created. So I've corrected all of the errors in this sentence, and this is my correct sentence. Sarah hasn't finished her report, and Sam hasn't either. So those would be the corrections for the sentence. It's okay if you didn't get all of them, and if you did, great job. If you didn't, just make sure that you've learned from this video why the changes need to be made, and if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me as well. So let's go on down to sentence number 2 and look at sentence number 2. First thing that I always do when I look at a sentence or I'm editing my writing is I read it out loud to make sure it sounds right. So if I'm looking at number 2, it says the movie starts at 7:30, don't it? Well, everything sounds right except for don't. I don't think that don't is the correct tense to put in there. I think that don't should be doesn't. The movie starts at 7:30, doesn't it? So I'm going to add that in. It is a contraction. So I am going to add in doesn't. It's a contraction between does not. And that's another way you could always elongate your contractions, turn them back into the words that they were to see if that sounded right. Because if I put the movie starts at 7:30, do not it, that definitely is incorrect. But if I were to say the movie starts at 7:30, does it, that would sound correct. So now we've done our spelling. We've done our does it sound right, because there's no other spelling issues. Our sentence sounds right. Now I want to look at capitalization. Well, I know that the first word in my sentence should always be capitalized. So the needs to be capitalized. There's no other proper nouns or names within my sentence, so that's the only spelling edits I need to make. And all I have left is to look at my punctuation. So the movie starts at 7:30, pause, doesn't it? It's two parts. There's two parts in my sentence. There needs to be a comma. And then this is a question. So I need to put a question mark at the end of my sentence. So if I were to come down and type all the edits that I have, the movie starts, oh, and I do see one other edit as I was typing it out. 7:30 doesn't look quite right. 7:30 is a time, and there should be a colon in between. So I'm going to add that as I'm typing it up. And sometimes that we can do that. If you see it as you're typing it up and you didn't necessarily make the edits in the original sentence, go ahead and change it when you're rewriting it, because that is still editing the sentence. So now I can read it again. The movie starts at 7:30. Don't it? And I wrote don't it. Look, see? That's why we always look back after we write something, because you can even make mistakes after you edit, just like I did. So now when I read it, it says the movie starts at 7:30, doesn't it? There we go. That is the perfect edit to this sentence. So let's go ahead and look down at sentence number 3. Blue is my favorite color, and blue is my sister's favorite color, and blue is my dad's favorite color. Well, the first thing I check is, does it sound right? And this sentence does not sound right. It is a run-on sentence. So what we need to do is we need to combine this or separate it into multiple sentences. And I would say, since we're all talking about their favorite color is blue, let's combine it into one sentence. So my thought is, we're talking about blue, and we're talking about 3 people who have blue as their favorite color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and type it up to make it sound right. And I'm going to make some edits as I'm rewriting it. Like, I know the beginning of my sentence needs to be capitalized. And so what I'm thinking I'm going to write is blue is my sister's favorite color, my dad's favorite color, and my favorite color. So I'm going to capitalize. Blue is my sister's favorite color, comma, my dad's, my sister's, my dad's, and my favorite color. So now it sounds right. Blue is my sister's, my dad's, and my favorite color, and I've added in my commas because I'm separating 3 different things, listing 3 different people whose favorite color is blue. So that is the first start to my sentence. Now I can go ahead and edit it for other things. So spelling's correct and it sounds right. So do I have any other capitalizations? Am I saying proper nouns? No, because sisters, it could be any sister, it could be any dad, and my is not a name, so all my capitalization is correct. Now I need to go in for punctuation. And I already added in a period at the end, which was already there. But there's one really important thing that I'm missing, is because blue is being described as owned, or something that the sister and the dad and me love, it's something that we like or we possess, I need to add apostrophes in. So my sister's, it's apostrophe because my sister loves blue, and dad should have an apostrophe because my dad loves blue. So that's showing ownership of blue, of loving the color blue. So now I can type up this sentence with all of my edits made, and let's see if I have the correct edits. I'm going to cross off this one because I had to make edits to it. So blue is my sister's, my dad's, and my favorite color. So my sentence is correct. It's not a run-on sentence anymore. I have the correct spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. So these are your 3 edited sentences for this week. Remember, if you got all of the edits, great job. If you didn't, that's okay. I didn't expect everyone to have 100% each week. I just expect you to learn about spelling, grammar, capitalization, and sentence structure each week with me as we grow in becoming better writers. So you guys have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you soon.